What's up and welcome back to another video. Guys, today I'm going to be answering some of your questions. As always, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer in the next installment of this series, leave them down below in the comment section of this video and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. Our first question for today comes from Siri Mall, and they ask, do I think that we'll ever see a dropship in ATOT again? And personally, I do not think that it's something that is likely. I don't think LEGO will make a playset that big just because for a playset to be like that, it costs probably around $400. And I just think for LEGO to make a playset like that for $400 doesn't really make sense. Most of the sets that are that expensive are 18 plus, aims toward the adult audience with the UCS sets and other stuff like that. So I don't think that they would do a dropship and ATOT set. However, I do think it's possible to get a dropship and an ATOT separately, both at like that $140, $160 mark, I think would be perfect. And then they could make the dropship compatible with ATTEs as well as the UTAT that's coming out. So I think something like that is a lot more likely and would be more beneficial. I would love to see something like that happen from LEGO. You just make the dropship and then make it, compatible with all of the other sets. And I think that would be a lot of fun. And that's how I would prefer them to do it if they were to do it in the future. Now, not to say that I wouldn't be happy if we got a dropship with ATOT set. I just think for it to be in a good scale, it would have to be super expensive. And I don't really want to go out and buy like a $400 LEGO set. But I do think it would be really cool to get the ships separately for like $160. So that would be my preferred way to get it. Now, do I think that's something that is likely? Probably not. However, I would not completely rule it out for the future. I feel like it's something that we could potentially see in the future for LEGO Star Wars. Enox asks, do I think that the leaked prices of the $200 ATST and the $50 turbo tank somehow got mixed up? And I have been seeing this go around quite a bit in like the rumor and leak community. And personally, I just don't think it's the case. I think the ATST being an 18 plus set, it's going to be geared toward the older audience of LEGO. So that does warrant it being the more expensive set. It's going to be a large and detailed build. So that 200 price point does make a lot more sense versus the turbo tank, which is going to be a 7 plus set aimed toward kids. Makes more sense that will end up being a $50 set. And I don't think that it is the roles reversed because we already got the 4 plus ATST a little bit ago. So I don't think that they're going to turn around and do another kind of younger ATST set once again. So I do think that what we have set right now is what we are going to be getting. Now, that's not to say can't change. I know these like leaks and rumors are so far out as of right now. So they could change. They might not even be real for all we know. But personally, I would have liked to have seen the turbo tank be a more kind of expensive, more just play scale model is what I would have liked to see. I want to get a play scale turbo tank. Not to say that we can't get one in the future, but getting one now means that we won't be seeing one for at least another year. But I am excited to see both of these sets once images finally get leaked. The Ginger Dude asks, what character would I like to see in future sets, Commander Thorm or Commander Doom? And personally, just to keep it short and simple, I would say Commander Doom. Now, for a few reasons, I do think that Commander Thorn and Commander Doom are both really cool clone troopers and pretty underrated. I just think Commander Doom is a bit cooler. He has a cooler color scheme, in my opinion. I love that green. And to get the Doom Squadron as well would also be super, super cool. I would love to see both of them. I think Commander Thorn is also really cool. I love the wing design on the top of his helmet. However, I do think that I would just prefer the Commander Doom. It's kind of more up my alley. However, I do think that a Commander Thorn would be more likely than a Commander Doom just because, we got the Commander Fox and the Shock Troopers, and it's a very similar kind of color. They wouldn't have to do much to actually make Commander Thorn. They would just have to mess around with the torso and helmet printing versus for, Doom, they would have to do a lot more than that and make up the new designs as well. So personally, I would love to see both of them. I don't think LEGO could go wrong, but I do think LEGO would be more likely to make a Commander Thorn over a Commander Doom. Squad Brick says, I feel like LEGO does not give enough love to the droid sets. What Separatist sets would I like to see? And I would have to agree with you. I think we are well overdue for a new Hailfire droid as well as a droid gunship. But another set that I've wanted to see for these Separatists from LEGO for a long time now is the droid landing crafts. I think that set is just that ship in general is super, super cool. Ever since I saw it in the Clone Wars, I've wanted a LEGO set version of it for the longest time. So I think that would be a super good option. Now, of course, they can't really get it in scale because it is massive, but I do think it would be really cool to see it from Lego. A couple other ones, I do just like the Separatist shuttles. I think those are really cool. I want to see an updated version of those because the old one is good, but I think Lego could make a better version now that it has been a while. But I do think that there are just a ton of options. I know that we are getting that MTT over the summer, which I'm super excited for. So that is kind of like the one droid set that we'll be getting compared to the however many clone sets we've gotten, which I mean makes sense because I think the clone sets just sell better than the droid sets, which, you know, would line up with how the fans kind of are, that everyone loves the clones. But I do think that the droids should be getting a little bit more love from Lego. Mr. Star Wars asks, if I could have a versus set, what would it be? Like Anakin's Interceptor versus the Vulture droid. And I think just one right there that you nailed is the Anakin versus the Vulture droid, or maybe the Anakin and Obi-Wan versus the Vulture droids would also be pretty sick, like the Ultimate Space Battle that we got a while back. I would love to see a remake of that. I think that's such a cool set, and it's such a good idea with the versus to have the Interceptors as well as the Tri-Droid and the Vulture droids as well. I just think something like that would be really cool. You know, maybe Lego could get crazy and throw an ARC 170 in there as well. I doubt it, but it would be cool. I think that's kind of like the main versus set that I would want. Ideally, it would have both Interceptors being Anakin's and Obi-Wan's as well as the Vulture droids, and I just think that would be a very good set. Now, of course, there's some other ones. I know that we do get like the battle packs as well, and another one that's not really a versus set, but I do think that I would love to see a remake of the Bounty Hunter Chase. I think that's a really cool set, and I think Lego could definitely make a really cool version of it, and if they tried to make a new version. So I would love to see that. I guess it's not really a versus set, it's more of like a chase scene, but kind of a versus. You have Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Zam Wesell, I suppose, but I think that could be really cool. But ideally, I do think that an updated version of the Ultimate Space Battle would be my ideal option. Mateo asks, do I think the Dex Diner set will include a Cobb Vanth minifigure? And I'm not even sure if we're getting a Dex Diner set. Now, I would love to see one. I think Dex Diner is something that has been overdue for a while. Hopefully with the anniversary of episode 2, we do end up getting it. I know that is coming up pretty soon, kind of, I guess. But I do think that that would make for a good set, or also a good promo, and kind of that like Lars Family Homestead that we got previously. I think something like that could be really cool. Now, I don't know if we would get the Cobb Vanth minifigure, just because it wouldn't really make sense if it was an episode 2 set. However, I do think that it would be very cool to get him as a Lego minifigure, but I don't think that we are even getting the Dex's Diner anytime soon. However, it is a set that I think is well overdue from Lego, and I would love to see it in the future. Lego Cloner asks, do I think that we will get a Kashyyyk Trooper battle pack? And I think we will. Maybe it is just hope, but I do hope that we get one at least. I think that it is definitely up there on Lego's list to do, though, just because they've made them before, so it won't necessarily be hard for them to make them on their new version of the Phase 2 Clone Troopers, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about the current state of the Phase 2 Clone Troopers, but I do think that we will be getting a Kashyyyk Clone Trooper battle pack soon. I just think it did so well before. People love them and people have been asking for them. So I definitely think that it is something that Lego will revisit very soon. Breakboy301 asks, what clone trooper do I want Lego to make the most? And I think it has to go to just Phase 2 Commander Wollfe. It's one that I've wanted for so long, and I would be super happy if Lego finally made it. But technically we did already get Commander Wollfe in his Rebel style and his Phase 1 armor. So of the clones that we have not gotten yet, I think I guess did we get Bly, or is that back in the day we got the 327th kind of, I guess, and also the Commander Cody that people also call Bly in that OG style, but I'm not going to count that. I think Bly is definitely up there with the clone troopers that we haven't gotten that I would love to see in the future from Lego, and hopefully maybe we're getting that 327th battle pack, so hopefully we'll be seeing Bly at some point in the future, so hopefully that's kind of a sign. But I would have to say Bly, but if it is of the clone troopers that we've already gotten before, I just think a Phase 2 version of Commander Wollfe is definitely at the top of my list. AJ Bricks asks, any advice on a brand new Lego channel? And not necessarily in the spot to be giving advice. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out for myself as well. But if I could, talk to myself when I was starting this, I would say just go for it. You have to try a bunch of different things to find out what works for you, what you enjoy doing, and, you know, kind of just ignore the numbers at the start, because no matter what you do, the numbers at the start are always not going to be good, and it can get very like stressful, and just it's not a good time if that's the only thing that you're thinking about. So I would say just have fun with it and stay consistent, keep posting, and just keep experimenting to try and find out what works for you, what your audience likes, and then you will eventually grow if you just stick at it. Jeff asks, what is the best clone for me? And personally, if I'm going based on like character, based on the Clone Wars, it's honestly a bit of a tight race between Fives and Echo. I think both of them are just great characters, and their design is also very cool. But if we're going based on like design and Lego minifigure, I think just Commander Wollfe's armor is just so cool, and I just love the Wolfpack's armor design in general. So I think they would also be up there pretty much. But there's a ton of great clones, countless clones that definitely are up there in the conversation for best clone. But let me know down below in the comments what you guys think the best clone is, or what your favorite clone is, whether that be the character or the Lego minifigure, because there are a lot of great options out there. And that was the last question for this video. So if any of you guys have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next installment of this series, let me know down below in the comment section of this video, and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for everyone who asked a question. Stay safe. Drew signing out.